Hello, Tamara here. Nice of you to join me. In today's video, we are going to be working on page 5 of our Chest of Memories album. And it's a real gorgeous page, I have to say. I'm so excited for this page, I really am. If you want to know more about the Chest of Memories series of videos, I will put a link up there in that corner, and if you click on that, that will take you back to video 1, where you can watch from the beginning up until this point and onwards. So what will you need to make this page up? So this page is made up of 2 panels, so we've done a panel. So let's show you what it's going to look like when we have finished it. Now this is just my prototype album, so I make an album up before I film it, just so that I know that everything's going to work together. So this is what I call my prototype. So this is our page 5. So page 5, we've got I'm going to call this is going to be our image closure, because on here we'll pick an image out of the papers and use that on there as our closure. Or if you've got chipboard, if your papers that you buy, say for instance the Graphic 45, or even now Stamperia, they've started to do chipboard elements, you could use one of those as your closure. So, but at the minute mine is just a rectangle. So open that out, and that's got a brad and some magnets to keep it closed. And then we open out, so you can open the one side, and then we open the other side, and then we open these ones out. Okay, so it's like a big full spread. So we could get maybe not a full, we will get a full sheet and have a little bit left over, but we will maybe get an image, the whole page, as the image, so it just flows into one page. So, and all I've done is use some photo mats with a photo in the middle, and these here could be journaling spots or extra photos, whatever you would like. Now I have just used the measurements for my photo mats, just what the images dictated. So have a look at your photos and gauge then what size you are going to make through them. So I've got one of these corner punches here that's like a photo slot, which are fantastic, because then you can make whichever size photograph you like with those. So more about that later in the video. So we can close that back up and then swizzle that back round, and that keeps that all nice and closed and contained. So that we'll need, so you will need a scoring tool and a bone folder to make your scores really nice and crisp. You will need a corner rounder, now only because I've rounded my corners on my album, so just to keep it consistent, that's what I'm using. You don't have to round your corners, you could keep them straight. Okay, again, that's personal preference. You will need obviously your nice strokeable papers. You will need a pencil, a ruler, maybe a pokey tool. You will definitely need some Scor-Tape. Now this Scor-Tape is a 1/4 inch. I use this one probably 90% of the time, this particular size. I have got the 3/8 one, and I think I've got the 1/2 inch one as well, but this is the one, if you're starting out, I would get this size, because it's it works for all really. So this Scor-Tape I got from a place called My Creative Spirit. I will put the link in the description down below. It's also available on Amazon, so you could and if you put it into your search engine, you may find it cheaper than I have, so that's all good, but I'm just giving you an idea of where you can get it from. And then I'm also using, well, I haven't used it in the page, but obviously in the the construction of the book, I've used the signature construction tape from My Creative Spirit. There's loads of bookbinding tape out there, but this to me is the best I've used. It's terrible. It's brilliant for scrapbooks because it's lint free and acid free, so ideal for for albums, mini albums and things. So let us make a start. Oh, you know what I did forget to say, which is very important. You will need some cardstock. Now the cardstock, this is 210 GSM. Now I, for my pages, don't like to go, certainly more so now, I don't like to go heavier than probably a 240 for my pages, because that adds more bulk to your albums, whereas we want to try and keep that bulkiness down so that we can add then our flips and flaps and then all our embellishments and things inside it as well. So if you can compromise on the thickness of your paper, then you're going to be able to achieve that look. So I will cut out and show you in the cream stroke white card, but when I come to put it in my album, I will be using the black now with it. So what I'll do, the measurements I will put at the front of the video as well as when I'm cutting them as well, so that you can see what you're cutting. So you'll bring in your trimmer. That was another thing I forgot to tell you. You need a trimmer, most important thing. So for the panels, so let me bring my book in, then I'll show you what the panels are. So for these panels here, I'm going to call them panels, okay? You're going to need to cut 2 of each, and the first measurement is 3 3/8 by 6 1/8. Okay, you'll need to cut 2 of those. You'll also need to cut 3 1/4 by 6 1/8, and that's 2 of those as well. Okay, so as always, I'll fast forward this bit so that the video doesn't go on too long. So you've got your pieces cut out. So your 2 big pieces, they need to be together. No, sorry, so you've got your 2 big pieces and then the 2 small pieces. They go one of each, okay, because they go on one of each of the sides. So getting the big piece, so that would be the 3 3/8 piece, we need to butt it up the 3 3/8 along the top, and then the longest measurement down the side. So let me just bring you in, she says. Sorry if that's really quick. Okay, hope you can see that. Make that straight. Okay, so with the longest measure, sorry, the shortest measurement, so the 3 3/8 is there. Okay, you'll need to score first of all from this edge down 1/2 inch, okay, and then 5/8 of an inch. Okay, so you're actually creating like a gusset. Okay, I hope you can see that. It's very faint. If I bring that up, can you see there? That is what we are trying to achieve, is that sort of column there. So we're going to fold the first one over. I'm just going to bring in my scoring tool, and then so that's the first line that we've folded over, and then just very carefully bend that second score line over, okay, like so, and then just score that down so that you make those score lines really nice and crisp. Okay, and then you've created like a tiny spine, but we're going to call it like a gusset because it's going to allow us to put lots of different things inside. So that is the one. So then the next part in that particular, on that particular panel, you need to bring in your shortest measurement. So the one that measures 3¼ that goes at the top, and then obviously the longest measurement down the side. And you're just going to score this one at ½ inch. Okay, all the way down. Fold that over and make that score line nice and crisp. So that is your one side of the panel done. So you're going to do exactly the same on the other two pieces of paper that we've got. Okay, so now you've got your pieces, we need to add our double-sided tape and then get them attached on. So you put your double-sided tape along the outside of your glue tab. That's going to get stuck onto our page. But before that, we need to just make sure that we get the two pieces lined up together. So this is where your pencil comes in handy. So get your pieces as though they're as central as you can, just by eye it, and then we're just going to put a pencil line underneath the bottom and a pencil line underneath that side, so one on the edge and one at the end here. So that then is our panel. So let me just bring you down so you can see what I've done. See what I'm doing. There we go, that's about. So I've put my pieces on and then I have marked them just underneath so that I know that that is where they're going to go. So I'm just going to put these ones back on so that they are on there as well. And then the next one, line this one here up with the bottom of corner of your one that you've just put down. Okay, and then do ahead and mark them again, one dot and a little dot. So now you know that they are going to be butted up as close as you can together. Okay, it doesn't matter if you get a gap, it doesn't matter, it really doesn't matter. So you need to stick the two pieces down with your gussets first, so they go in. So I'm going to stick them onto my book here, and you might see the pencil lines a little bit better because for some unknown reason pencil lines really show up well on black. Okay, now if you want to round your edges here, you can do. So I tend to straighten the gusset out so that just the one fold line is folded. Okay, like so. So that's folded over, and then I just chop into it and then do the other side, and then I just take that next score line down and fold that one behind. Okay, so you've got no scores on this side, and then chop again, and then that should give you a nice double corner round. I'm only going to do it on this one page, one panel, because the other panel doesn't need it because the edges are not rounded. So let's get this as central as possible. I think that's about right. Maybe move that up a touch. Okay, this I'm going to have to go round, and a little dot, little dot. Okay, so there you can see my pencil lines well on the black. So let's bring it back out again. Is that coming out? Yes, it is. A little bit faster. There we are. Okay, so you need your double-sided tape then on the outside of the glue tab. Now if you want to, which I'm going to do, I'm going to put some glue as well as my double-sided tape. Just burnish those down. I'm just going to use my fingers. Peel that off. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. That'll give me a little bit of wiggle time to get them into position. Now I'm using the Cosmic Shimmer for this one. The Coal is very good. I will say it's a brilliant glue, and as I say, I'm trialing it at the minute. It gives you a bit too much open time for me, so that's why I like to use the Cosmic Shimmer when I'm coming to do this, because although it is there, just lining it up. You don't want it, as I say, just on those marks. I'm just going to firm them down like so. And then you need the next one. So exactly the same with the next one. Double-sided on the outside. Now if you wanted to, you could have put a piece of patterned paper underneath here. Now the reason I haven't done that is because it's not going to be seen very much, and I wanted to there we go, hold on, just fold those down. I wanted to cover these edges here, so that's why I haven't put any pattern paper underneath. Now I did forget to say, which I am going to do, is I'm going to round these corners here, only because I think it's going to look nicer, and I forgot to do it. So this is the quarter rounder one. It's a bit cat-handed that way, isn't it? There, like so. So then they're rounded nicely. Got them on. We can then work with our other two panels of these here. Now I'm going to open them out because these panels are going to go on the edge of your panel that you've just put down, so it'll be the outside edge. But as I've rounded these corners here, I need to round these corners. So you need to round all four of the panel that has just the one score line down. Well, it's the only two that you've got left, isn't it, really? So one more. There we go, like so. So double-sided again on the outside of your glue tab, and again put some glue down as well if you want to. You don't need to, I just like to. So like so. Now I'm going to do this one here first. So just line it up, so line the bottom up with the side and then push down. So you might see it better from this way. So I'm just lining them up. That's where it's really good to have that extra glue on there, because as I say, you've got that wiggle time. Okay, so that then is one, and then the next one do exactly the same. Glue your double-sided on the outside of the glue tab, and open it up, put the glue on, okay. Now I'm going to try it where I do it from this side, and that seemed to work a lot better with lining it all up. There we go. Oh, it did, it worked, that worked a dream. So, there we go, just push that down because that's come up a tiny bit. A bit more. Okay. Just going to doing the score lines a little bit better. And I've just noticed that this top bit here on this side is not level. So hopefully, and it hasn't, so that's good. I can maybe take this one off, and that's because I've had that extra bit of glue. I was able to pull that off and then just reposition them so that they're not there, that's better. There, push that down. Okay, don't worry because of this here, I don't know if you can see. Oh, I was going to say where I've ripped it, because that's going to be covered. Pull that over, and then that is your basic panel done. So you can open these out like so.
Sorry, I didn't find a device named Lights.
Alexa thinking that I've called her name. Right, so let's pull that in. So the next part is we need to work out our closure. Now we need to get all the workings in before we start to build it. So we'll need to do this panel here. So your panel, your second panel on your left hand side, we're going to work on this panel first, okay? But we're going to close it up and do it this way. So for your closure, let's have a look in our pattern paper. There we go. Let's see if we can find a nice image. So let me have a look. Okay, right. Well, mine doesn't have a rectangle where it's going landscape, apart from maybe this one here. So I'm going to just bring my trimmer in, because you need to cut this at 3 3/8 by 2 3/8. So I'm just going to chop, let's go, so this has to be the 2 3/8, that side, and 3 3/8 is there. So you've created like a focal point. You might have, whichever papers you decide to use, might have a better image that you can use. See, all of the ones I've got, they kind of like, they go portrait more so than landscape. So that's fine. So now you need to cut your backing out. So your backing paper, if you cut that at 3.5 by 2.5, 2.5 by 3.5. So that is the backing, and hopefully that fits on there just nicely. Now round your corners if you want to. I'm going to. and you will need to ink your edges. Okay, so I need the ground espresso and now if you didn't want to use distress inks this way, then you could use a pen, either a distress ink pen, or you used to be able to get memento ink pens. I'm not sure if you can now. I think you can. I mean, I've got grey ones that I use when I do my colouring, because if I cut out my image, I go around the outside of the image and then it hides that white line, which is so I don't like. So stick this on. Now again, I'm just going to use the Cosmic Shimmer because I don't want this to slip and slide when we come to put the brad on. Now I'm going to work on the back. So this side is going to have our brad, so you need to turn your work over so that you don't turn it over this way, turn it over that way, so you've still got this edge towards the left hand side. Find the center of your closure. Now mine on this is 1 3/4 by 1 1/4. So draw your lines. So you need to draw your lines so that you find the center piece, the center part of your closure. Now this is going to help you when you come to line it up on the panel, because you'll have that center mark, so that you will end up with equal amounts on both sides of your panel. Other side, 1 1/4, and then just cross over like so. Now I'm going to just bring that around so that I can see it. It's just a guide. Bring in your work and making sure you've got it the right way. That's that way. That's where I want my brad. I'm going to just flip it over and I'm going to come in 3 1/2 inch. I think I came in 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch from that side. That's going to be where we're going to poke our hole through. If I can find a pokey tool. So 1/2 inch and poke. Okay, so that's where your brad is going to go. There. So that should be dead center. We now need to find the center of our panel. Now when I say the center, I mean the center of our piece, because we need the two sides. So the left hand panel, because that's where your brad is going to go, on your left hand panel. So I'm working on my book so that it's turned round this way. It just makes it easier for me to do. So find the half point on your panel, and as we've cut these at 6 1/8, I'm ignoring that 1/8 and just marking at 3 to make it easier. So once you've got that mark there, just mark it on at 3 like so, and then we're going to do the other side as well. So but don't go so near to the edge. Leave about a 1/8 of an inch gap, because you don't want your pencil marks to show, although you can rub them out. So I'm going to come into about there. Okay, find the mark and mark it there. Then I'm just going to draw a line. So I'm going to just draw the line from that mark. Okay, bring in your closure that you've already marked and line up this center line here with this center line here on your closure. Okay, and then that should, and then where you've already marked your hole in your closure, find that center point where they join up, and then just mark your mark in that hole already. Get your pokey tool and then poke that through, and then you should have a perfectly centered piece closure on your book. So open it out and then punch your or just prick your brad hole, and there, like so. Okay, now before we put this all in, we need to add then our front panel here. So if we add that next, so the panel for the pattern paper for this is 2 5/8 by 6, I think that is, by 6. I think we've had that face, so we could have that face on, and that could just carry on. That would be quite nice. Or that one, that would be nice because that's coming off the edge. No, we'll do that one. So you need to cut then your 2 panels, 2 5/8 by 6. Okay, and then that goes on your page, front page, like so. Okay, round your 2 corners that are on the left hand side and ink the edges. We're not going to stick that one in just yet, so I'm just going to place that under there so we don't get confused. So okay, then go ahead and stick this down. Stick this down. Like so. Okay, and then just go from underneath and just remake that hole. Okay, so that you've pricked that hole out. Okay, so now we can add our closure, and if you've got a nice brad, you could add a nice brad in there. I've got some black ones somewhere, so poke it through that hole and then through the hole in your panel, like so, she says. Okay, and then just make sure that it works, and it does, so that's good. Now we have got to add a piece of paper on the back, but before we do that we need to put our magnets on. Okay, so I'm sorry if this is a bit bitty, but I'm trying to do it so that we can get most of our workings out hidden. So like all our magnets hidden, all our brad legs hidden, and so that it makes it a lot more professional, I suppose. We need to then add our magnets. So if you just temporarily attach your closure on to your panel. Okay, she says, in you go, like that, and just very loosely push them down. Okay, like so. I like that. I didn't work that out, but her eyes are over, just over there. That's very good. Anyway, so we've got our closure on, so now we need to add the magnets. So 1, 2, and this is where your construction tape come in. If you haven't got construction tape, so normal sellotape will do the trick. So like that, like that. get your magnet and just put it on so that you know that it's going to end up on the other page, but not so much that it's going to be seen. So add then your second bit of double-sided tape. So get your magnet, your other magnet, sticky side up, and just let the magnet find the magnetic force, and that then clamps down on that. Okay. Then very carefully you need to line up, make sure your clasp is straight, and then just burnish that down. Okay, then that should snap onto that there. So you can take off then your brad. Now if you want to, you could just add your pattern paper up, you know, up to this point, because you're not, once you open it, you're not going to see all of it. So if you didn't want, if you had just a piece of offcut, say for instance something like this, for me, I could just add that, and then that would hide all those workings out. So I'm going to do that then. Okay, and then that can clip on there, or just round the edges. Ink your edges if you want to. And glue this on. Okay, glue it into place, and then that will hide that magnet on that side just nicely. Okay, then you can go and attach your brad. Okay, push it down. Okay, push those legs apart. Would help if I held the back. Now I like to just give these a quick bang down. It just flattens those legs so that they're a bit more flat. And then I add just a piece of construction tape, just so that that doesn't work its way out. Okay, and also it gives you more of a smooth finish for your pattern paper to go on. So that's that. So now we can add our pattern paper for these two sides, and then we'll work on that side in a moment. So measurements are 2 5/8 by 6. So you need to cut out 2 of that that size, but we were going to make, well, I was going to make a picture, wasn't I, out of that whole lot. So let me measure and just make sure I've got my measurements correct, because I'd hate to say it and then they're not right. So that is 2 5/8 by 6, and so that would be 2 5/8 by 6. This one in the middle is going to be 5 3/8 by 6, and then these ones will be the same, the 2 5/8 by 6, 2 5/8 by 6. Okay, and we can cut. So we need to obviously do the 2 5/8 and then work down. So let me bring my trimmer in. So I'm going to work from this side here. So I'm going to work from right to left. So I'm first of all going to do the 6 the 6-inch measurement. So the 6-inch measurement needs to be, your paper needs to be the correct way up. So however you're going to have your paper, okay, so that's how I'm going to have it in my book. I need to turn it to the side 90 degrees, and then we can cut. So cut your 6-inch measurement like so. Then we can work from this edge. So it's going to go in like that. So as you would put it into your album, so that's going to be in your album like so. So you're going to have that continuous pattern there. So this needs to be to your right. So 2 5/8. Just that way. Okay. So round your edges. So the panels on the flaps that open out, they've got all 4 corners rounded. So do that on your pattern paper as well. So that's that side, and then I've got this little bit left over which I'm going to put just on there, and then I'll add a bit on that side. So these just need to be rounded and inked. So again, I've just rounded the 2 corners. And that goes there to pattern match that one. And then I've got just a tiny bit there. So that measurement I'm going to do is going to be 1/8, no, 1 1/8 by 6. So just pick some paper. It doesn't have to match. I might go with that side. And then that can just go there. So round the outside 2 edges, round the outside 2 corners, and then ink, and then stick in. Okay, get that right. Okay, don't worry too much because that is going to be covered, but if you want to, you could add a slither of cardstock along there, so black cardstock. It does look quite nice. So I'm just going to do a 1/8 of an inch by 6. Like so. And then that can go along there. Okay, then we can fold them over like that. And then that's like sort of near enough, apart from this one bit here, it's sort of near enough finished. So we've just got this side then left to do. So where did, there, is that it? Please be it. Yes, so that then is the outside one. So we can go ahead and stick that on. And then this one has got the 4 corners rounded. Like so. And inky. Glue. Okay. Make sure you get it up the right way. And then just firm that into place. Like so. Make sure you've got it all nice and lined up. Okay, and then that goes over. I'm going to keep this the same, so as I've done this as the double, I've pieced 2 together, I'm going to piece 2 together on this side as well. Let's get the cardstock and just do your 1/8 of an inch, and then up the middle. Okay, so that's the inside bit done. Now we just need to do these 2 bits here. I will fast forward this bit because you've seen me cut them bits out before. Okay, so that is that page near enough finished. Now I am going to add our photo mats in there. Now if I just bring in my prototype, and then we can see what I've done. So with the prototype, I've just got 3 photo mats in there, and then these 2 on the outside edges. So we work on the middle and then we work outwards. So if I do the middle and then the 2 on this side, then I'll fast forward it because then that would be the same. I've just staggered the pictures so that it distributes the bulk of your piece. Okay, so the photo mat for inside, so this bit here is going to be 4 1/8 by 3 1/4. So that one goes there. This one here, so these 2 are going to be this here is 2 1/8 by 3 3/8. Okay, and then these two long ones are going to be 5 3/4 by 2 1/2. You will need 2 of these. Okay, so before we stick them in, you'll need to do your photo corners. So I am just using this scalloped one here. I got this one off Amazon, but if you just search photo corner punch, you should get quite a few different ones come up. So I'm just doing all 4 corners of each of my pieces. So it's very loud. I've got that extra one. Where did that one come from? Oh, punched some I didn't need to. That one there, and this little tiny one. Again, you just work to your images that you have. I mean, they could not be images. You may have train tickets or plane tickets or concert ticket, you know, or theatre tickets even. You know, things like that can go in your memory books. Okay, so we can go ahead and stick these in. Now, when you stick them in, you don't stick the corners. You just put your glue on the inside part of your photo mat. Now, what I forgot to do is I'm going to round these corners on here. They're them. So let me just take out the photos that I've got in here, and we can use these to show. Okay. Now these are just photos that I think I got these off of Chanda. Not 13 Arts, I think. Can't remember. Craft a Clock, that's what they're called, these. There's lots of different vintage photos in here that I've just chopped up and used. The idea from this, I got the inspiration of using these type of photographs was from doing Claire Charville's online workshops, because she uses the Tim Holtz ones, which I've used as well in the past, and I really love it because it makes it really just brings your book to life if you haven't got your photos that you want to put in yourself. So I've just put my glue on the back. Now I've put that in central, but again, you could have 2 small ones, or you could have 4 small ones. So it is really up to you. Now I think I've stuck the wrong one in, and I have. But because I've stuck that big one in, I think that will be stuck. So again, it doesn't matter. You can just use a bigger photograph in there. So that measurement, if you wanted to do this one, is 3 1/8 by 5. So 3 1/8 by 5. So for your photo mat, this would be 2 7/8 by 4 3/4. Okay, so that would be for your photo mat, and that's the photo frame. Okay, so these ones should fit in here. So whatever your measurement is, what I do is I take off 1/4 of an inch. Okay, that's what I'd take off to add so that your photo mats will fit in. So again, we're just going to put glue on the back and then stick them in. I'm going to stick these the opposite way. So in there, and this one here. Like so. And then that can go at the top. Now if you wanted to, you were going to keep your photographs in this album and not swap and change them, then I would suggest sticking down the corners. Okay, you don't have to, but I think it makes it look a little bit neater. What I may do is I might just lift them up and put a little bit of double-sided tape just on those corners to keep them flat. So these ones are just going to go on the outside. So these are the tall, thin ones. They're going to go on here. Now I've left those ones blank, but because I'm going to do a white photo mat in there so that we've got some journaling spots. I'm a little bit annoyed about this one actually. I wish I'd have, I don't know how I managed to stick that one in by mistake. Not watching what I was doing, I think, would be the answer to that. So close them up and open that up. So like so, like so. Let me see if I can find a big enough photograph to go in there. Just so that I've got a picture inside, I'm going to do the white border. So that is going to be 4 3/4 by 2 7/8. Okay, so that can go in like so. Okay, and then that, when I get it in, this is where your pokey tools come in handy, like so, like so. Get that nice and central. And if you wanted to, you could then make a black one to go on there. I don't want to stick that down because I like to use these, but can you see that kind of looks, how that looks with your photographs in it? Just brings those pieces to life. So for this large one, the photo mat is going to be 2 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, and that's going to be for the 2. So that's that one. Just check it will fit. Now I'm going to round these edges as well. Again, you don't have to, but so let's put this one in. 1, 2, 3, 4, hopefully. So that's there. You see how it just brings those pages to life. It really does. I'm so pleased with it. Okay, round them edges again. And then put them in. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we can close it up. I'll tell you what I may do is to paper clips, which I have, so I can get piano, because that's got the piano music notes on. So let's get that on like that. Ooh. 1 and put in 2, and then that keeps that sort of in place. I'll just push that up a bit more. A bit at a jointy angle because I quite like that. Like so. There we are. And that looks pretty good, and then you can take that off and put some journaling behind. So even though I made a mistake with my measurements and put the wrong piece in, you can see that it's actually worked out a lot better than just say that plain one there. I think that one looks really effective, and you can take your picture off and then use the underneath bit as some journaling spots. So it all works out in the end. So you can close those up. Now if you wanted to add some more journaling spots, you could. If you wanted to add some little embellishments on there, you could. I wouldn't add too much because you've got a thick page on this page here. You don't want a really thick page, the page afterwards. So that then is our page number 5. We have finished. Wow, that was quite an I enjoyed doing that actually, because it was a bit technical as well. In different, you had to do different parts of the page in different orders to what you would normally do. So yeah, I quite enjoyed that. So thanks again for sticking with me and watching this video. I hope that you've liked this page. Don't forget to go and check out the rest of the series as well, if you want to know how to make the chest of drawers. That is our chest of memories that fits in our 2 albums. So yes, go and check them out. Please subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Thank you if you already subscribe. I appreciate it very much. If you would share this video, please, I would really appreciate that as well. And because then the more people get to view it, the bigger my channel can grow, and then the more content I can add. Come and follow me on Facebook, and I also have Instagram. I will put the names across the screen wherever they come, around there somewhere. And I will put the links in the description down below, along with a couple of links for shopping as well. I'm not affiliated with anybody, and I'm not sponsored to do these videos. Again, they're my property, and I do them myself. I also have a brand new Facebook group. Come and join that. We are steadily growing, so it's really exciting. You can come and share your projects that you've made using my tutorials. I always get such a buzz out seeing what other people do with my ideas, because we've all got different ideas, so we add different things in, and I love it. So you might think of something different that I've done, and it just then your album then grows, and with what you've actually, the base knowledge that you've give. So I really get a buzz out of that. So thanks again for watching. Any questions or anything like that, please comment down below. Please comment down below as well if you've got a question for me and I've not covered it, or message me over on Facebook. Anyway, I will stop waffling now, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.